Seasons, greetings, and salutations. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Eric Moss. I'm a personal trainer, motivational speaker, and a modern-day performing strongman. If you're unfamiliar with what a modern-day performing strongman is, picture the old-time strongmen. Legends of the past like the mighty Adam and Alexander Zass, they would perform real-life feats of strength as part of a live show. I do a similar thing, but with a modern-day twist. Some of the feats of strength that I've performed in front of a live audience include things like bending steel bars, breaking chains with my chest, twisting horseshoes, rolling up frying pans, driving nails through wooden boards by hand, and even holding back a high-performance motorcycle while taking off at full throttle. Now, being a modern-day performing strongman and the fact that there's not a whole lot of us around these days to answer people's questions, in an effort to grow my YouTube channel by giving you guys what you want, I started a YouTube series called Ask Eric Moss, where I would invite you to ask me a question by dropping it in the comments below. And when you do that, I try to get back to you with your very own custom video just for you. Pretty neat, right? So, this question comes from Kashto Herubibi 8894. And they said, "Hi Eric, my question is what exercises for legs strength can I do with chains? Do you know a routine for these exercises? Do you know if Alexander Zass practiced isometric exercises for legs? This isometric exercises would increase my speed? Thank you, Eric. I love your videos." Thanks for asking that. Now, I'm going to try to pick this apart because there's like multiple questions in one. I don't know if Alexander Zass practiced isometric exercises for legs. He probably did because he seemed to really be a promoter of that method of strength or method of strength training. I don't think he did it with chains though. I think he probably did that with very, very, very heavy weights or something like that. He might have done it with chains. Now, as for a routine or which exercises you can do, what I recommend is think of what you would do with dynamic exercises. Think of like things like squats, Zercher squats, lunges, pistol squats, that sort of thing. If you can load it up dynamically, you can probably load it up isometrically. There was a video put out by No Limits Squad, who's also a big promoter of isometrics, where he was talking about a different kind of, I think it was rear foot elevated split squats, or maybe it was Zercher squats where it would be at the very bottom. I can't remember which one. I'm going to see if I can link to it in the description. I don't know if I'm going to end up finding it again. But if you think of like how you would hold a weight for a squat, you could wrap a chain around, although I guess you wouldn't need to use your hands, but put the chain around, squat up into it, driving into the chain, driving down on the board. Same thing with the Zercher squat. If you have a handle, you get to the bottom and you push against the board, you could probably do that with isometrically with the chain without issue. If you have it with a handle and you do like the bottom of a pistol squat, probably a similar thing. That would be the kind of exercises I would do for myself if I was to train them isometrically, if I wasn't going to be using plates or something. I've actually lifted every plate that I currently own while on a barbell for partials, which is another very, very effective form of strength training that's similar to isometrics, but there's actual movement there. Now, as for routines, pick an exercise. Instead of determining sets and reps, what I would do is time under tension. And what I'm currently doing for my isometric training is when I'm sticking with the same angle, that is, you can always vary the positioning that you're using, which is one of the advantages of an iso chain. that doesn't apply to the feats of strength that I do, since changing the angles isn't advantageous for the actual feat. I had to find a way of varying it without changing the angle, in which case what I do is I take a pair of dice and I roll it, and however many dots are up, that'll be how many seconds I do it for. And then I take a single dice and I roll it, and however many dots are up, that'll be how many rounds I do, and it'll be about a 20-second rest period in between. Now, as for, will the isometric exercises, would they increase your speed? Kind of depends. I'm not really sure what type of speed you're talking about. If you're talking about sprinting speed, it very well could be. I know that Barry Ross, with his sprinters, he does, as part of his method, he develops strength first before promoting speed or conditioning. And he does that with like partial deadlifts done off the floor, where you would bring it up to the knees and then you would drop it. I would think if a deadlift like that transfers to sprinting, doing things with your like isometric loading could probably do it too, especially if you were doing like a deadlift. That was the other thing that I had left out with the chains, is I didn't talk about deadlifting. Although I think of deadlifting as a back exercise, it's also very much a leg exercise. In fact, deadlift hits the entire body. So deadlifting would be another thing that you could do with the chains. So anyways, Kashto Harubi 8894. I hope that answers your question. If anybody else has any questions, please drop it in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you with your very own custom video. But if you like this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, or you want to subscribe, or you want to see the chronicles from my various performances, subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you think anybody should see this, please share it with them. But in the meantime, please stay happy, healthy, and strong. Let's make 2024 the strongest year yet. Eric Moss, over and out.